Hi, my name's John from PAL, and thank you for joining me with my weekly update on the preparations for my Cent account that I'll be starting in January. So in this last week, I've had a bumper week, up nearly 7.5% with what my FX book says is 2.1% drawdown, which I'll come to that in just a moment. But overall, as you can see here, I'm up now to 123,300 and with only still 23% drawdown, which was caused by that JPY move that I talked about last week. So where did that 7% come from? So that came from last week. It came from actually Monday, Tuesday, end of quarter, start of quarter. Now, normally when I'm trading, I actually don't like to, let's just show you this last week. Here we are. So you can see how much it has gone up there in from the 30th to the 1st. I don't tend to like to trade as at the end of quarter, start of quarter. It's a bit too much volatility. I've been stung in the past and I've learned from that. But I'm willing to, but from that learnings I've generated a bias towards not trading end of quarter, start of quarter. And you know that you can see it as a crude wisdom to be able to act on. But what I'm doing here is I am keeping a clean slate in terms of my my prejudices and my biases, and just gonna go with what the data shows me. And what the data is showing me here is that it's good for me to trade on this portfolio on a Cent account at the end of quarter, start of quarter. Ended up gaining the best part of about $8,500, which equates to 7.47% on the balance. Now I've got a little issue here, and it's something that I'm going to have to factor into my trading and how I arrange my strategy moving forward, especially when I go live funds. But again, this is all a part of the collecting data phase. So that bugbear that is the drawdown. So the drawdown here says 2.13%. The thing is for myself is that over the weekend I noticed that I was holding trades on GBP JPY, and it had over 3,000 drawdown. And also yesterday CAD JPY was 11 trades deep in a sequence and the lowest it was $4,000. So that's saying it's 2.13%. It's actually on the balance, it's about $1,400 out. So that's 1.4% if you're trading a 100k account on a prop firm. And that 1.4%, I say referencing to a prop firm, that's a lot. It may not be a lot when you're trading your own funds if you've got quite wide parameters for your risk appetite and where you'd want your equity protector to be. But when you're running something tight on a prop firm you're running say 2%, 3%, 4%, you know, to be out by 1.4% is actually quite a lot. So it just gives me something to ponder on if I do think about copying this portfolio over to a challenge in the future. But you know, like I've said before, with regards to the drawdown levels on my FX books, it's just more of a guidance thing, and I take it as a pinch of salt. And I know it's going to be roughly in that region, but that's quite a bit of discrepancy from my FX books, if I'm honest. So overall, I am really happy with where I'm at. You know, 7% there in the last week. Gathering data to see how I can look to amend my strategy or my biases towards trading end of quarter, start of quarter, and I'm just going to see how it goes there for this next week. If I do end up looking at this portfolio to copy over to a challenge account, something I'm going to still keep considering is removing CAD JPY, and whether I do decide to increase the lots or keep the lots the same size on the rest of the portfolio. This is now the second time CAD JPY has gone above the backtest data of $2,000 drawdown, that first being that 23% there a couple of weeks ago, and the second one there being yesterday. But I've got to take into account as well that yesterday was a day of high volatility. So on another point, I could even stay out of the market on end of quarter, beginning of quarter, and increase my lot sizes for the rest of the times to make up for that profit there. But these are all just things that I'm considering gathering data on as I move forward towards January. And yeah, what I'll do now is carry on tracking this, but very happy with the 7.5% that I've gained this week. I'll check in again with you next week and let you know how I perform then. All the best. Bye now.